Hello folks, the Atari 7800 Junkie back with you once again with a crappy video game review. Yes, I'm bringing it back, baby. And if you look at the screen there, it actually doesn't look much worse than when I did my Major League Baseball 2K12 review. Now this, all I did here was point my camera at the TV screen. In the 2K12 review, I actually used an easy cap. Hey look, it's Atari. That means it must be good, right? Well, maybe not always these days, but this game is a good one. This game right here is Test Drive Unlimited for the Xbox 360. It was also available for the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation Portable. Now, I've never played either one of those other two versions, so I cannot speak on them. From what I've seen, the PS2 version is just a little graphically less. There's some missing cars and other missing content. But you take a look at the graphics right there, and hey, look, I'm going to an online race, except for one little problem. These days in 2012, there's really no one else trying to do the races in Test Drive Unlimited. I'm surprised the servers are even still up. But you can still do the races that are actually on the game against the computer racers, and that's really fine. I mean, the sad thing is you can't do two-player locals, so there's really no multiplayer function in this game anymore, and that's kind of sad. But it is a great one-player game on its own, especially if you like to do what I like to do. See, I don't always want to go racing. Sometimes I just want to drive around, and in this game you can actually do that. You can drive around the entire island of Oahu, which is one of the Hawaiian islands. It's the one that has Honolulu on it. And if you just want to drive around and not race and do that for a couple hours, go right ahead. Because, in real life I love to drive around in my car, but of course gas is prohibitively expensive these days. So, I've been looking for this game for a long time. I happened to find it, at GameStop. It was $12.99, I believe, and I'm sure if I kept looking I could have found it cheaper. Oh no, I hit a car, but it's okay. In the races, most of the races, it's okay if you hit a car. Now look, I crashed there, and all of a sudden I'm a ghost car back in the race. See, one nice feature about this game is that when you crash, you can press the back button on your Xbox 360 controller, and I would assume it would probably be the select button on your PS2 controller, and you can get right back into the race. Sometimes they'll put you a little bit further back on the track. It's usually where you leave the road, or where you crash at if it still is kind of on the road. But you get right back in the race. And the other thing about this is I'm able to race Gran Turismo style. What do I mean by that? Because this game isn't as realistic as Gran Turismo, but it's certainly realistic enough. And so Gran Turismo style means basically I can bump and bang anything. I can bang the guardrails, I can bang other cars, and there's going to be zero damage to my car. That's what I mean by Gran Turismo style. Because the manufacturers, just like with the Gran Turismo series, they didn't want to see their cars banged up. Now, what about these other cars that do get banged up? Well, those are not real cars. At least in the races where the regular traffic stays on, or of course just when you're driving around the island, yeah, those cars get damaged, and hey, look at that, I unlocked an achievement. But those cars get damaged, but they're not real cars, so it's okay. Always glad to unlock an achievement there. I've gotten, I think it said 40 out of the 120 gold cups. Now you get gold cups in 3 different modes. The first mode you saw was racing, of course. This is the second mode, and it's a time trial mode. And basically you have to get through the course in the fastest time. There's a reference score, I think for this particular race it was 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Of course you probably already told I've cut a lot of these races, or time trials or whatnot, down a bit. But, so that I could, fit this into a, short enough review. I didn't want to have a review go on for about, I think I had about 50 minutes of footage, so I didn't want to have a 50-minute review. This will be about 11 and a half minutes, or just a little bit over 11 and a half minutes. So, now if there is one complaint I do have about this game, is that a lot of the races seem to be a bit too easy. meaning, you know, I get in my car in whatever class of race, and there are 8 different classes for cars. There's also 2 different for motorcycles, but I haven't gotten in any motorcycles yet. But they rank them from class A to G, and then motorcycle A and motorcycle B. But like within my classes, whenever I do race, it seems like I get in front of the field a lot. And you can tune up your car in this. And I have not tuned up any of my cars, and I still seem to defeat the field very easily. Much easier than if it were a Gran Turismo race or such. So, now, yep, right there you just saw me doing a little bit of free riding. Now I'm going to a third mode in this game, and it's a vehicle deliver a vehicle mode, I guess is what I'll call it. And basically, what you want to do in this, there is no time limit when you deliver a vehicle from one part of the island to another. They give you insane amounts of money, and of course you gotta have money to be able to purchase cars. You also purchase houses that give you enough garage space, and that's where you will actually keep the cars that you buy in the game. So you have to have enough houses and enough garage space to be able to keep all the cars that you buy. But certainly, yeah, this would have gotten me $90,000 had I done it perfectly. Well, I didn't do it perfectly. I ended up hitting a car, and you'll see that here in a minute. When you hit a car, money gets taken off. The car doesn't look physically or visually damaged, but it's damaged in the game because you end up hitting another vehicle. And you will see that here in just a minute. Is that running the right way? And somehow, I'm still looking at the game. I have no idea how I did it. I guess I lost concentration there, but I did lose some money. But it's still a successful one, as long as you get there and get some form of money. You could get there and only get $1, and this mission would be successful. Also, when you hit cars in either the free mode or when you deliver a vehicle, you get a police meter that goes across the top of the screen. If you get it high enough, police can come chase you down. If they stop you, you'll get a big fine. You never go to jail unless you don't have enough money to cover the fine, and going to jail in this game, all it does is basically stop your game for 30 seconds. And then you're back out on the road. But then you have no money, of course, because they will take all the rest of your money and still put you in jail. And that sucks. Destinations, nice big arrows there. That's always a nice touch. So graphically good. Vehicle transport, that's what I was trying to say earlier. See, when I say this is a crappy video game review, I mean it. I just kind of ramble on and on and on, but I do love this game. You know, I got this, and I just love driving around it. The controls are great. Now here's the fourth mode, where you can basically give people a lift, because they're too lazy to get in their own cars, or too lazy to walk the 4 miles, I guess. Okay, I wouldn't want to walk 4 miles either. But in this, you see the meter on the left side of the screen, and it starts at 90 for this particular one, but every time you hit a car, it goes down lower. If it goes to 0, you fail. And the person will just get out and you get nothing. But as long as you get there with at least a 1 or better, it's successful, and you'll get some coupons to change your clothes. Yeah, you can change your clothes in this game. One thing they left out, you can't be your own avatar. So that kind of sucks. But this game did come out in 2006 when the Xbox 360 was in its infancy. So they weren't thinking about letting you drive as your own avatar. You know, you can change your clothes. I do know that you cannot change your clothes in PS2 version of the game. But yeah, you can do whatever you want to do to the characters in the game here. Whatever. And actually, there's a 5th mode, but it's like the vehicle transport mode. It's a courier mode where you have to take a package. Basically, you're a mailman from one part of the island to the other. Of course, you end up driving your own car, so instead of taking great care and going slower, you do have to go fast. There is a time limit in the courier mode, so I guess it is its own 5th mode. I don't show any of that here. In fact, now I get in a race that features all Mercedes-Benz cars, and well, I end up failing miserably in this race. And, you know, didn't I just say most of the races are easy? For some reason, not this one. But you know, a lot of the other races I've been able to get win it very easily. Now in this race, there is no regular traffic on the course. This would be what I would call a closed course race, where it's just you and the other racers going for the first place prize. Now you actually get money for coming in any of the top 3 positions. So as long as you come in first, second, or third, you'll get some money. You continue to advance your career, and that's great. Of course, the only way to fully complete this game would be to come first in everything. And I, for one, would love to see somebody complete this game. The completionist, maybe? Who knows. Anyways, I'm going to now let the last minute or so run out, so you can see my epic at the end of this race. I get into first and then I fail miserably. But it's not the game's fault. The game has great handling, the game has great controls. It was my own fault. I just wasn't used to this car yet, but I'll get used to it. I want to play in the face. Anyways, I am the Atari 7800 junkie, and yes, it is kind of odd that I still haven't done a review of an Atari 7800 game. By the way, well, I guess the review's over, but I will say make sure you tune in this Thursday for the Gaming Penthouse show, the re-premiere, after the epic fail of the Gaming Penthouse Sundays. Yep, I just hit a tree, like I did in real life. There's the finish line up there, and look what I end up doing. I fail. Anyway, yeah, Gaming Penthouse show is this Thursday. I'll do my response to the top 3 Tuesdays then as well. And until next time, folks, I am the Atari 7800 junkie, and